Hey guys, this is part 16 of my story Torn Apart. I hope you enjoy it. Disclaimer: the characters and pictures do not belong to me. All rights belong to their rightful owners. I don't see the characters the way I portray them in my story. As a reminder, my first language is not English. My English is not the best. This story contains a lot of angst. It will also have +16 scenes in later parts. I advise not to read this story if you are under 16 or not comfortable with these topics. Warning: mention of suicide attempt, depression, violence, underage drinking, assault, sex, and fluff. Texts between mean that they are the thoughts of the respective person. This is the last part. Hope it's a good end. Atsumo's point of view. It would only last for a few months. It's our last year of high school. But I would understand if you want to stay in Hyogo. I would not voluntarily get involved in a long-distance relationship again. Of course, I'm not happy that I will be separated from Rin, but we will make it together. Samu is right. We will make it. I can visit you over the weekend and during the holidays. Your reconciliation has priority. Of course, our reconciliation is important, but your relationship is also important. I know what it's like in a long-distance relationship, and you miss your partner a lot. Even if we try to see each other every weekend. Once we had training on a Saturday, we weren't able to see each other. How come I never saw him with us? And that I didn't know you had a boyfriend? I am a germaphobe. What do you think? I like traveling by train? I only told Kagai and our parents about our relationship. I didn't even tell Kita, although he knew it. And I always went to Tokyo over the weekend by train. The only time Omi was in Hyogo, you stayed at Suna's all weekend. We should go to our parents? They want to know how our conversation went? Not so fast, I also have something to tell you. Yeah, me too. I won't forgive you as easily as Itsu. I had to watch how your behavior destroyed the love of my life more and more. Do you know how it feels to have to talk your partner out of killing themselves? Do you know how it feels not to know if he's alive because he doesn't answer you? I know exactly how that feels, and it feels like shit. I hate getting into trains because there are always a lot of people there. But when Itsu didn't write back to me, I was so scared that I took the quickest way to him. You have no idea what it feels like to be a germaphobe in a hospital and see your partner after a car accident. I will accept you for Itsu, but I will never be able to forgive you for what you did to Itsu. If you ever treat Itsu wrong, I'll make sure you're the one who ends up in the hospital. Osamu took a step back and gulped. Kiyomi could be scary. When angry, the ace stood up and took a step toward Osamu. Atsumo stood up as well and put a hand on Kiyomi's arm, pulling him towards him. Atsumo teared up. He knew it wasn't easy for Kiyomi to see him like that and keep talking him out of suicide, but it broke Atsumo's heart to hear it from Kiyomi and to see the pain in his lover's face and to hear it in his voice. Kiyomi looked at Atsumo as he noticed Atsumo's hand trembling. He pulled his partner into his arms and placed a light but very comforting kiss on Atsumo's blonde hair. I'm sorry, my love, I didn't mean it that way. No, that's okay. I know that it must not have been easy for you. What is important is that you never have to be afraid again that I feel so bad again. I will never let it come to that again. Suna, I want to tell you something too. I hate what you did to Itsu, but I also appreciate you trying to protect him anyway. I will accept you too, but the same applies to you as to Osamu. If you ever hurt Itsumo like that again, I will not ignore it, nor will I forgive it. I promise I'll never turn my back on Itsumo again. I never want to let Tsumo out of my life again. I will never treat Tsumo that badly again. I almost lost him once already. I'll never risk that again. I believe you too. But I agree with Kiyo. I also had to watch how you both destroyed my best friend. I won't be able to forgive you too that easily. Nonetheless, your actions brought Sumo to us, and that's something I'm grateful for. I will support Sumo in his decision to forgive you both, but that doesn't mean I will trust you when it comes to Sumo. Are you both done? Can we go to my parents now? I said what I wanted to say. Me too. Are you alright, my love? Yes, just a bit overwhelmed. The 5 boys wiped the tears from their eyes and went to the room of the twins' parents. They talked about what the next year would be like for the Miya family. Suna, Osamu, and the parents went back to Hyogo for 2 weeks after the conversation. They prepared the move to Tokyo and arranged for Osamu to be transferred to his new school. Osamu also got to the Itachiyama Institute. In the beginning, Utsuma still lived with the Komoris at home. After a few weeks, when he felt safe enough to be alone with Osamu, he moved back in with his parents. My love, are you sure that you're ready to move in with him? Yes, baby. I feel safe enough. And if something happened, I don't have long to get to you or Toya. Kiyomi still didn't trust Osamu. He hated when Utsuma and Osamu were alone. He was always afraid that Osamu would trigger something in Utsuma that would send him back into a downward spiral. Baby, I've got 5 minutes walk to you and 10 minutes to Toya. My parents are still there if something is wrong. The twins went to therapy together once a week to rebuild their relationship together. The therapy was good for the twins. The therapist also suggests that they should live together again. The therapist also noticed that Utsuma had a barrier and therefore didn't let Osamu get close to him again. That barrier was Kiyomi's strong distrust of Osamu. Once he could overcome the barrier, the 2 brothers built a relationship that was even closer than before. Baby, you heard the therapist? You should at least try to trust Samu a bit. You're right, but you have to call me immediately if something is wrong. Of course. Kiyomi also occasionally went with the twins to therapy so he could see how the 2 were progressing and learned that he could trust Osamu. Motoya had an easier time trusting Osamu. He could see how much Osamu regretted his actions. He could also see Osamu paying attention to the words he spoke to Utsuma. Motoya tried to help the 2 of them as best as he could, so that they find each other again. The libero became an important part for the twins. Osamu talked a lot with Motoya, who helped him deal with Utsuma better. Motoya taught the younger twin how to deal with Utsuma's phobia. Osamu initially had some problems with the team because the team was on Utsuma's side. This did Utsuma good, seeing his team watch his back. When Utsuma told the team to leave Osamu alone and treated him like everyone else, things quickly got better for Osamu. It wasn't that the team kicked him out or insulted him, it was more that they kept Utsuma away from him. Sumo, let's warm up together? Sorry, he's already warming up. With me? Come on Sumo, let's go over there? You can warm up with me? Daiki-kun, you can warm up with Suko-san, I want with Samu. After a while, the team stopped coming between the brothers. The closer the brothers got to each other, the better they played together again. Osamu missed Suna very much. The 2 phoned every day and Suna came home to the twins every weekend. So Suna and Utsuma slowly got closer again. After a few months they started to get in touch again. In the beginning they only started to write occasionally, but after a while they also started to occasionally talk on the phone if they wanted to talk about something. In the beginning when Suna visited Osamu, the 2 always stayed together, or when Osamu had to cook, he stayed in Osamu's room. After getting closer to Utsuma, he spent the time he wasn't spending with Osamu with Utsuma. Osamu was very happy that the 2 most important people in his life got closer again. He was particularly happy about how he noticed how he was getting closer and closer to his twin. Kiyomi was also slowly starting to trust Osamu. Tsumu, Rin, the food is ready, come eat. Stop. Stop tickling me. Osamu walked into Itsuma's room and found a scene he never thought he would be so excited about. His boyfriend was lying on Itsuma's bed being tickled to death by his brother. Ha 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 ha. Stop. Never, first you have to take it back. Osamu walked over and lifted his brother off Suna. Stop torturing my boyfriend. Then you should take your hands off my boyfriend. Itsumu laughed and dramatically threw himself into his beloved Omi's arms. Osamu looked after Itsumu. He never thought he could have so much joy again. A few weeks ago, if he had lifted Itsumu like that, Kiyomi would have come jumping like a wild dog and would have bitten his head off. Itsumu was very happy that Kiyomi slowly started to trust his brother. Rin, you still gotta take it back? Alright, your Omi is the better wing spiker. Don't call him that. Don't call me that. That's enough. The food is ready. Let's eat before it gets cold. The Spring High National Tournament came faster than expected. Time flew by for Itsumu. His life was finally good again after 8 painful months. Qualifying for the Spring Interhigh was no problem for the Itachiyama team. Itsumu was nervous for the first time before entering the court. They made it to the semi-finals and now had to warm up to play his old team in Arizaki. Suzaku, the co-captain, called the whole team together to form a circle. He noticed how nervous Itsumu was and wanted to help him calm down by showing him that his whole team was behind him. He wanted to say something but Osamu beat him to it. Hey captain, we have your back. Thank you Samu. Well, you all know the strategy. We'll finish them off, they won't know what happened to them. We are not a team. We are a family. We should do it. Really? Really? Yes, I trust you Samu. The team lined up on the court and took their positions so they could warm up. Itsumu went to the net and looked at his team. He signaled to his team that he was ready. The first ball was played to him and he made an ordinary set. Ordinary but perfect. He did this a few times until it was Osamu's turn to hit. Osamu took his position and nodded to Daiki. Daiki threw the ball to Itsumu. Osamu started running before Itsumu got the ball. When Itsumu touched the ball, it rushed to Osamu so fast that you could hardly see it. The Inarizaki team watched with wide eyes. The ball was in their part so quickly and with a great deal of power. Inarizaki's players have seen the twins play together many times, but they've gotten a lot better. Did you see that? A perfect set so fast? Only twins can do that? Haha, then they never seen Sakusa and Sumo get serious? Wait, what? Does that mean there is someone else in their team who can do that freaking quick attack? Hey Zuko, even if they don't stand a chance against us, we should still give 100%? Don't get cocky Tsumo. Remember they still have me? Hey Rin, you're forgetting that we have Samu. Are you sure you can concentrate when he jumps in front of you, bathed in sweat? Suna blushed when he imagined that. Fuck you Tsumu? Tsumu, stop making fun of Suna? It's no fun to destroy them when half the useful team is distracted. Don't tease my boyfriend. I'm only allowed to do that. Fuck you. Samu? The referee called the two captains to the net. Jinjima and Itsumu both went to the referee. They shook hands and wished each other a good game. Good to see you again Tsumu. For you and the rest it's Miya-san. The referee held out a coin. Itakiyama has heads. The referee turned the coin. And Inarizaki has tails? The two captains watched the coin as it landed on the ground and it landed with the head up. Itsumu smirked and looked at Jinjima. We take the serve? Fine by me. Then we will take the receiving. Atsumu bowed to the referee and walked back to his team without giving Jinjima another look. He went to the coach. We stay on this side and have the serve. Good. Everyone gather around. We start with the lineup where you Atsumu start to serve. Everyone keep calm. If you make a mistake, just forget it. Sakuatsu hold back at the beginning. The opponents should think you're weaker than you actually are. It is important for you Komura that when Osamu and Sakuatsu attack, that you are ready in case he bounces off the block. Komura takes on the balls that bounce down and the rest of the team takes on the ones that bounce backwards. Hi! The team lined up in a circle. Kiyumi put on a mask. Everyone put their arms on the shoulders of those next to them. Kiyumi stood between Atsumu and Motoya. They leaned forward and yelled in perfect sync their team motto. The referee whistled for both teams to line up on the ground line. The referee whistled again and both teams bowed. Both teams lined up. Atsumu grabbed a ball and got into position. He turned to his fans. He took a deep breath. The referee whistled. Atsumu turned around. He ran and jumped up. In the air he hit the ball. The setter landed and took up position immediately. The ball flew over the net directly to the libero. The libero took a step back and raised his hands to receive the ball from above. Itakayama's fans cheered when the ball landed half a meter from libero's feet. The 6 players on the court gathered in the middle and cheered for Atsumu. After a moment, everyone returned to their position. Atsumu took another ball and got ready. He looked back at the fans and only turned around when the referee whistled. Fuck, why did he got so good? Atsumu worked for weeks to break the habit he had the year before. With the new fans he had, he realized that it isn't a bad thing or a bother when the fans are cheering you on while serving. Now that he had fans who didn't treat him like dirt outside of a tournament, he loved looking at the fans. That is unbelievable. Atsumu. Miya seems to be unstoppable. Atsumu scored the first 3 points with his flutter serve. The 4th time the libero took the ball and passed it to the setter. He was able to play the ball to Jinjima, who hit the ball with full force. Atsumu immediately recognized what his former teammate wanted to do. He got ready to receive the ball. Kiyumi jumped up and blocked the ball. Kiyumi also recognized that the attacker wanted to turn away while hitting and jumped to the perfect spot. That was perfect, Sakuatsu-san. Atsumu got ready again. He picked up a ball and looked at the fans. When he heard the whistle he turned and looked at Kiyumi before running and hitting the ball with all his might. The Inarizaki team was amazed. Atsumu wasn't known for his powerful serves, but there was a lot of power in that ball. The ball was so fast on the other side that the opponents couldn't even react. All eyes were on the line judge as he whistled, indicating the ball was in. Atsumu did the same thing again with the same result. Now it was already 6-0. The referee blew his whistle when Inarizaki's coach called for a timeout. Atsumu took a sip of water and wiped his sweat away. Atsumu. Miya was a great win to Itakayama Institute. The 18-year-old setter proves once again how important he is for his team. Atsumu. A little less power in the next serve but better control. Don't let yourself be thrown out of your rhythm. The rest of you, even if you haven't had to do much yet, keep your focus. Hi coach. The referee whistled and all players re-entered the court. The first set was clearly dominated by Itakayama. They won the first set 25-15. That was an incredible first set from Itakayama. The Miya twins together with ace number 1 is an incredible combination, and on top of that they have an excellent libero. It was more balanced in the second set. The Itakayama team had to really fight to stay in the lead. Atsumu was on the net. They just lost a point. Motoya came onto the court. He went to Itsumo, Kiyomi and Osamu. They high-fived. Motoya then positioned himself in the center back. Let's do it? Finally? Cool? That's going to be fun? Rizky stood on the baseline. He took a deep breath. Took a few steps backwards. The referee whistled and Rizky turned the ball in his hand before he threw it in the air, ran and sent it over the net. Oh my gosh! What are they doing? Itsumo Miya, the team's setter, goes backwards and not on his position at the net. Motoya stepped aside and made room for Itsumo. The libero ran to the 3-meter line and jumped over the line. Itsumo received the ball and sent it to Motoya. The setter immediately ran off and jumped off. The whole crowd were surprised. Itsumo attacked along with Osamu and Kiyomi while Motoya set. The crowd cheered as Kiyomi hit the ball and it went down in the back right corner. The team cheered. Itsumo high-fived Kiyomi. Baby, that was amazing. Motoya, that was a super set. You even fooled me? I was sure the ball would come to me. Cool attack. You are incredible. Only the 4 of you can form such a team? Suna, what are you doing? You shouldn't cheer on the opponent. You should focus more on winning. Suna, they are the opponent and traitors. They used to be one of us. They don't deserve to win. Suna clenched his hands into fists. He turned and was about to run towards the player and hit him when someone grabbed his hand. Rin. It's not worth it. Focus only on the game, or do you want to lose against us? You're right. Shall we go celebrate my victory after the game? You probably mean ours? Suna? What's going on there? The Miya twins were part of the Inarizaka team last year. It looks like they're having arguments with their former teammates. The referee whistled and warned both teams. Both teams lined up again and Itsumo went to the back while Motoya went out again. The score was 22-23 for Itakayama. An incredible second set. Inarizaki is now able to match Itakayama, but is it enough to win the second set? The Inarizaki team was now able to handle Itsumo's serves well. Suna jumped off and hit the ball. He turned during the shot and the ball flew sideways. Itsumo tried to receive the ball, but it bounced off Itsumo's arms and went backwards. Osamu ran after the ball as fast as he could. He jumped and stretched as far as he could to keep the ball from touching the ground. The ball landed on the ground. The game was now 23-23. Inarizaki now had the serve. Good job, Samu. You will make the next one? Unbelievable. Inarizaki managed to equalize. Motoya came back onto the court. Inarizaki served and Motoya received perfectly. The ball flew to Itsumo, who got a run-up to hit the ball straight in. As the block built up in front of him, he changed his posture in the air and made a back pass to his brother, who spiked the ball over the net. Unfortunately, Inarizaki's libero was able to receive the ball. An incredible deception made by Itsumo Miya. The blockers had no chance to block this ball. Luckily, Inarizaki have a libero who was able to save that ball. Inarizaki attacked. Jinjima spiked the ball and Zuko just barely managed to receive the ball. However, the ball was too deep for Itsumo to take a good position. He took quick steps to get under the ball. He had to lean far back to play the ball. He managed to make a good set to Kiyomi despite a bad receive. Kiyomi hit the ball as hard as he could and spiked the ball to the ground so quickly that the crowd was silent for a moment. Score 24-23 for Itakayama. Set point for Itakayama. An incredible set. Once again you can see what an incredible setter Miya Itsumo is. Almost all setters would have played that ball from underhand, but not Miya Itsumo. It's an incredible experience to see the best setter play alongside the best ace. The two harmonize perfectly. The two teams both fought Itakayama also managed to win the second set. That meant they only had to win one set to become champions. They won the second set 27-25. The third set was similar to the second. Both teams didn't want to lose. Inarizaki was able to keep up with Itakayama. They had the lead several times but were never able to hold the lead for long. Score 18-20 for Inarizaki. Itakayama's coach requested a timeout. Both teams gathered at their coach. Don't get sloppy just because you won the first two sets. You would have to give everything. Hi coach. From now on Sakuatsu give 100% and overpower the opponents. Komori, you know how fast the ball bounce of blocks when Sakuatsu gives 100%, so get ready to keep those balls up. Hi coach. Hi coach. Utsumu, better concentrate on the game again. I know this is a personal fight for you, but don't forget that you have a team behind you. I don't mind if you try to score yourself, but you have to only try to make the feints if you can score a point with them. Hi coach. I am sorry for that. The referee blew his whistle and all players resumed their positions. It was Inarizaki's turn to serve. He jumped and smashed the ball over the net. Motoya positioned himself and sent the ball to Utsumu. What it means when Kiyomi gives 100% means the setter has to be even faster. There are only a few setters who are able to keep up with Kiyomi's pace. The moment the ball touched Utsumu's fingers, it was gone and in Kiyomi's hand. Kiyomi hit the ball and it landed in the center back next to Suna. What the hell was that? Fantastic! Sakuatsu. Kiyomi, ace number 1, finally gets serious and uses all his strength. This is truly a sight to behold with your own eyes. That was really cool, Omi. Do that again. Of course, my love. If you make our opponents look old, you will get a reward at home. You? Motoya, can I come to you when we go home? Haha, of course. Motoya spoke as he walked back out. He clapped with Daiki, who re-entered the field and got into position. The surprise managed to get the Itakayama team back in the lead. It was still an exciting game. The score was 26-25 for Itakayama. They played a long ball change. Utsumu started to get annoyed and lost his concentration when he heard his best friend calling from outside. Tsu, keep calm and make us proud. Utsumu was able to calm down immediately. He focused and sent the ball to his brother. It was a good set but not perfect. Utsumu regained his concentration too late to correct his bad posture. He could only change his plan. He wanted to backtrack and play to Suzaku, but because he had bad form he played forward to his brother. Fuck. Osamu hit the ball straight into Suna's hands. Utsumu stretched his foot out to bring the ball back up, but the ball went under the net. Point for Inarizaki. Score 26-26. Sorry, but I can't let you win that easy. But we will win anyways. It was the turn of Inarizaki's setter to serve. Motoya had no problems with the receive. Utsumu ran to his position at the net and sent the ball to the middle. Zuko made the point. Point for Itakayama. Score 27-26. Match point for Itakayama. Osamu got in position to close the serve. Jinjima received the ball and sent the ball to the setter, who feinted and scored a point. Point for Inarizaki. Score 27-27. We can still win. It's not over yet. Serve by Rizki. Ball flew. Motoya positioned himself and jumped to the side just before he touched the ball. He looked at the linesman who was blowing his whistle and holding the flag up. Out. Point for Itakayama. Score 28-27. Match point for Itakayama. An incredible back and forth. Itakayama maintains the upper hand, but Inarizaki prevents them from claiming the championship title. Inarizaki doesn't give up, but Itakayama doesn't let them win that set. It was Kiyomi's turn to serve. He walked past Itsumo and stroked his hand. Itsumo immediately understood what he meant by that. "The next ball is mine? Set to me." Kiyomi took a deep breath. The referee whistled. Kiyomi looked at Itsumo and threw the ball in the air. He took 3 big steps and jumped off. He hit the ball. The libero was able to receive the ball, but poorly. Jinjima was able to get to the ball in time and put it to the net. Kozaku was able to hit the ball, but Daiki had no trouble receiving the ball. Itsumo positioned himself under the ball and played it straight up. The setter quickly jumped to the side as Kiyomi came flying in from behind. The outside hitter jumped behind the 3-meter line up. He hit the ball and it flew to the baseline. All eyes in the whole gym were on the linesmen's, waiting for the decision. "Out! We are champions!" Itakayama cheered even before they heard the whistle, while the Inarizaki team shouted that the ball was out. The linesman whistled and pointed the flag down. Point Itakayama. Score 29-27 win for Itakayama. All the fans are freaking out. Itsumo threw himself into Kiyomi's arms. Motoya rushed over to them from the outside and threw himself at Kiyomi and Itsumo, causing them both to fall. "We won! We did it!" The rest of the team threw themselves in a pile and celebrated their victory. Motoya and Itsumo threw themselves on the pile after they got up. Kiyomi had some distance. Everyone stood on the ground line. They bowed. Afterwards everyone went to the net and shook hands with the opponent. Both teams had a little time to rest before the award ceremony. Suna went to the Itakayama team and congratulated everyone. He hugged Osamu and gave him a kiss. Then he immediately hugged Itsumo. After the award ceremony, the players took a shower. Itsumo and his friends made their way to the place where their families and friends were waiting for them. On the way, they met Eren and Omimai. "Sumu, I want to apologize to you. I know what I did to you is unforgivable. But you deserve an apology. Go away before I make you?" "It's okay, Dai. Go ahead, I can do it myself." The team went to their families. The twins, Kiyomi and Motoya, stayed. "Eren, we've been friends since we were kids. And yet you didn't even give me the opportunity to explain myself. And for what? Just because you're in love with Shin? You are in love with Kida? But I'll never let you get close to Shin again. You were very important to him and he could have loved you if you hadn't been such an idiot. And said those things to Kida. You hurt him a lot. I will forgive what you did to me, but I will never forgive what you did to Shin." "What did you do, Eren?" "I slept with Kida. And then he left him alone in a hotel and didn't contact Shin for weeks. When he finally got in touch, he told him he wasn't interested in him and that he was stupid to stay by my side even though he knew I wasn't going back to him. Idiot! Kida doesn't stay by Itsumo's side because he wants to get back with him. Kida and Itsu are best friends. It took a while for Kida to get over his feelings, but he no longer loves Itsu in a romantic way. Let's go, our friends are waiting." The 4 started walking away. "Wait, Sumu, you don't have to say anything. I know you're sorry and you shouldn't have acted like that. But you know what, your apologies mean nothing to me. I've already forgiven you all because I just don't care about you." The 4 went to their friends and families. They all celebrated their victory. After this glorious victory, they received offers from many Division 1 teams. Itsumo and Kiyomi got many offers from all teams. But they chose the MSBY Black Jackals. Suna was arguing with himself. He had a good offer from the EJP regions, but he didn't want to part ways with Osamu again, and he didn't want Osamu to part ways with Itsumu again. That's why he made sure that he also got a place in the MSBY Black Jackals. He made it into the team thanks to Kiyomi and Atsumo, who put in a good word to the coach. Atsumo managed to get over his phobia. He still preferred to be with others, but once left alone he didn't panic anymore. Osamu opened an onigiri restaurant and was always there for Atsumo. He went to watch every Atsumo match. The two brothers managed to put all their problems behind them and become brothers again. In fact, they became more than just brothers, they also became best friends. After winning a game, Atsumo gave an interview. Impressive performance, Miya. Atsumo. Do you have time to answer a few questions? Of course. You played with your brother in high school. Why don't you guys play together anymore? Or rather, why did Osamu Miya quit volleyball? Samu enjoyed volleyball less than me? Samu loves to cook and that's why he decided to follow his dreams. He still plays volleyball as a hobby. You were a few months at the end of the second and beginning of the third year of high school. You go to different schools. What was the reason? The reasons are private. At that time we were torn apart, but now we are one again. We are not longer torn apart. I am no longer torn apart. This was the finale of Torn Apart. I hope you enjoyed the story. I'm still trying to come up with an idea for a new story. If you have any requests, please write to me. I would like to thank everyone who follows my stories and gives me so much support. I love you all. I have a new Instagram account where I will make updates and where I will upload eventual smut scenes. Sakuatsu Heart. Link is in the description. I apologize for the grammatical errors. Write me a comment how you liked the story. Don't forget to follow. If someone wants a video, please let me know it. I will try to write your ideas as best as possible.